Welcome back. Well, he played for 15 years in the NFL, earning a Pro Bowl bid as a punter in 1984. Originally from Hayward, Iowa, Brian Hansen now resides in Sioux Falls, where he still stays involved with his favorite game. And even if his audience doesn't always know where he got his credibility, they still seem to have faith in him. Here's Carla Metts with the story.
Brian Hansen knows what it feels like to play in front of thousands. He knows about the big stadiums and the bright lights, but on Monday nights during the fall, you can find him in front of some smaller eyes on a much smaller field at Riverdale Park in Sioux Falls. Hansen is the ministry director for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in South Dakota and started the flag football program in Sioux Falls over 15 years ago.
I realized we didn't have a flag football program and kind of asked around, and at one point I guess they had a flag program that was no longer in existence, and they had a junior football program. It was full tackle for kids of all ages, and just thought it would be a neat opportunity for kids to have an opportunity to learn skills before they got into full contact. And for us as a ministry, it just created a great vehicle for us to speak to.
But what some of the little eyes that watch Hansen every week don't know is that he has a pretty good resume when it comes to the game of football.
It was a big part of my life, and I had a dream of, like a lot of kids, of playing in the NFL. And the older I got, the more realistic I became about that dream ever becoming true. And I went to Sioux Falls College at the time on a whopping $500 scholarship. So they weren't exactly knocking down my door, but it did give me an opportunity to play football. And I guess I was pursuing a dream, or at least hoping for an opportunity to maybe get a look and a chance, and just basically to say I was in an NFL camp. And that would have been a dream come true had I had that opportunity if it ended there. But I guess God had other plans, and so that door opened, and I was able to play for a number of years and 5 different teams.
Hansen was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in 1984 as a punter and would spend 15 years in the league. He was a part of the New England Patriots, the New York Jets, and the Washington Redskins. He was a Pro Bowler in 1984 and even played in Cleveland under, at the time, first-year head coach Bill Belichick. And although each experience helped shape him as a person, he said it was the people that he met along the way that had the largest impact and led him to where he is today.
And what I took from that, from an eternal perspective, was the impact that the coaches that I played for and the teammates that challenged me and encouraged me in my faith kind of led me to where I'm at today, being in full-time ministry, which I never would have thought possible. I don't really share it. A lot of the kids become aware of it. Either a buddy or their dad says, this guy used to play in the NFL, and they're totally shocked because they look at me and say, he doesn't look like an NFL football player. And but it's kind of fun. The kids definitely gets their attention, and that's I guess the great thing about sports ministry is the influence of an athlete or a coach, and how a kid, you get their attention and they're open and receptive.
Hansen hopes that the Youth Flag Football League teaches young players about fundamentals and safety, and yes, even how to have fun.
He asked about spin moves. Are they allowed? Where you can spin. Have you guys ever seen Barry Sanders? Ever heard of him? That's where he learned his moves, is in flag football. You guys can spin all you want.
But also teaches them about a greater purpose.
We see football, sports for the most part, from our perspective, is a tool that God uses to test us and teach us, but most importantly to develop us in our faith. And to be able to see the greater purpose in sports, and to be able to learn the life lessons and the faith lessons that are available in the game of football. Like our first week, we talked about just loving your teammates, loving your opponent, and really the standard that God calls us to in doing that and understanding that, and then living that out on the field, and then taking that from the field into your home and into the classroom.
He's been involved in the flag football business now for as long as he was a part of the NFL. And although it's maybe not the Monday Night Football people are crowding around their televisions to watch, It's the Monday Night Football that, for him, is more rewarding.
Hey guys, ready? Oh, that's not very good. Come on, ready? That's better, okay.
All right, thanks, Carla. If you'd like to learn more about getting involved in FCA in the area, head over to southdakotafca.org. When we come back, our NSIC expert David Brown gives us a preview of tomorrow's game, Wayne State at Augustana, then later highlights from the big high school volleyball matchup in North Dakota, Valley City at West Fargo. Stay tuned.